Do, do, do. Alright, boom. We're in. Finally. So, finally got it in. It's all fixed up. Legs are fixed on. Legs come out quite nice, to be honest. I'm quite happy with those. I'm a little bit disappointed with how the top came out. Had a few little issues along the way. You're probably wondering why on earth I joint that the way I joint it. Why didn't I just glue it? A couple of things really. Originally this wasn't my plan to do it like this. Originally my plan was to run it this way and then run it this way and extend it out a little bit further, which is why I use those clips that I use, so it could, because the grain would be facing opposite ways, so it wants to have a little bit of movement in there. But then when I eyed it up, I didn't like how it looked. I thought it looked a little bit strange with the grain running opposite, so I wanted the grain facing the same way. And I don't know why I did it the way I did it. In all honesty, it's just like, I think I didn't have clamps big enough, and then for some reason in my brain I didn't want to glue it, or I wanted to use those clips because I bought those clips and I had never used them before, so I was like, well, let's just use these to see what happens. And I did actually end up, I don't know whether you can see it on the camera, but there is a slight little gap. It's nothing, the average eye would never really notice it. So I had that little issue, which kind of bugged me a little bit. I also, I don't know whether you noticed, when I was putting the lacquer on, I used a brush that was an old brush, and it had been used for all sorts of things. I was like, it'll be alright, I'll get away with it. and then I started using it and little bits started coming off, so I had to give it a light sand. I got the worst of them off, so it's not the end of the world. And then I also had drip marks along these top sections where I had them laid down, and I put a coat on and just sort of forgot about it, came back and I was like, it's dripped down. So we had a few little issues with that, which kind of bugged me a little bit. It didn't really come out the way I wanted it to come out. And then just to top it all off, when I was doing the LEDs, so I installed the LEDs, picked this up, carried it in here, and as I was carrying it in here, I stood on the end of the LED strip and just ripped it, and so I couldn't even fix it. So I had to go buy some more, and then I bought some more, installed those, and then I don't know how I managed to do it, to be honest with you. I slid it along the bench and it caught and ripped. It did actually rip. It ripped a second set. So we're now on the third set. So we're on the third set, and I don't know whether you can really notice it in the, but I don't like it when these lights, I like it to be one continuous light. I don't like it when you can see the little LEDs. So I might see if I can find a set that I can change so that we haven't got I don't see all the little LEDs. But other than that, it's not too bad. It came out pretty good. I'm not gonna complain. It's good. So on to the next one, really. So yeah, like, subscribe, comment. I'm not quite sure what I got installed next. I got a couple little ideas. I want to do an epoxy coffee table. I want to do an epoxy top dresser. So it's going to be like a nice big dresser, and then the top of it is going to be like, I don't know whether I'm going to do live edge. Like, I've got a little bit of this left over, and I was thinking of doing like Tetris, like cutting it all out so there's like little Tetris sections, and then epoxying it and making the top with that. I've got those. I got a custom sign I want to do with my like brand logo sort of on it. So we got that. So we got a few things lined up, so it'll be good to get back into something. Like I say, this project, it wasn't my favorite thing to do. I was a little bit upset with the way a couple things come out, but yeah, you live and you learn. It is what it is. It doesn't really matter. So anyways, like, subscribe, comment. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.